Loon. I'm Chris.
And I'm Wesley.
My highfalutin Loon.
Very.
So fancy.
Yeah, the least fanciest
Well,
person.
you're pretty fancy in my book. I think in a lot of people's books. So, guys, we are really excited because we're about to have one of the most fabulous nights of the evening of the year.
And we've been anticipating it
And this
for
year,
a very long time.
This year in particular, if you're watching it right now in 2020, I don't think everyone has been so excited to see that ball drop in Times Square.
It's New Year's.
It's New Year's. So we're doing something. We're gonna be celebrated with us and Dick Clark on the TV, and hopefully you guys are gonna. But
Dick Clark's rocking New Year's Eve.
That's right. That's right. Do something really kind of cool and fancy for ourselves, and dream of the next year when we can do this for a big crowd. Let's tell them we're doing our
Oysters Rockefeller.
These beautiful oysters. Oysters are known worldwide for bringing you good luck and prosperity on for the new year. So that's why they're so popular. We just did an oyster casserole for the holidays that was really good.
Yes.
And now
we've got oysters coming out of our ears.
And we have yet to find a pearl, but we keep trying. Okay.
Look at these wonderful oysters on the half shell right now. These are the great thing about Oysters Rockefeller is that they're cooked. So anybody that can't eat raw fish, this is perfect.
Yeah, they are cooked.
Yes.
I mean, although it's hard for, I love eating oysters on a half shell like this. I want to eat those right now.
Hot sauce and some champagne vinegar. There you go.
So let me just say real quick before he talks about shucking them. What I do is you can just go to your favorite fish market. Whole Foods is really great, and ask the fishmonger back there if he or she will shuck them for you. Just make sure we ask them when they do that there's the liquid, the liqueur that's on the inside of the shells that you the oysters. Make sure they don't
don't
lose
get rid
those,
of that.
That is so delicious.
Exactly.
You can and have them. They'll put them on ice and you can bring them home.
Yeah.
Or you can do like the Loon does.
Yeah,
and
shuck them yourself.
Oh shit! All right, quickly.
Well, actually, you got I had my little shucking gloves on and my shucking knife or my shucking utensil.
So these
things are perfect.
I was just going to say, these tools are important to have, especially the gloves. You may not think you need them, but because they will cut your hands.
They're rough. And then also the knife itself that you use to get into the oyster is pretty sturdy.
Yeah, so I have a link to where you can order those online easily.
Yeah, so what you do is you find out where the top and the bottom part of the oyster is connected. What is that called? Like
it's called the
elbow.
That's called the V-neck or the point of the oyster. There's a flat part and a cupped shape. You want the cup shaped in the palm of your hand.
Yes, and you're just gonna get it in there, and once you get it in there, it gets a little easier, but the tough part is getting it into that little crevice, and then you just kind of pry it all the way around until it just kind of opens up on you, and then you make sure that you got all of the meat, the lovely meat, and that liqueur on the bottom part, and then you're all set.
You're all set. So we've done them, and what I also recommend when you're getting these, especially if you're serving them to guests, get a little extra, because sometimes you always want to make sure if the oyster is opened, these oysters are alive, and so if they're
open, then they're
and you tap on it and it doesn't close back up, you don't want to use it. It's no longer fresh.
Dead.
And they also sometimes when you're shucking them, they can break. And boy,
that's what happened. We were supposed to have 6, but I broke one of them.
I know. So we just ate it. But this recipe calls for 12, but we're just doing 6 with just the 2 of us. Okay. All right. We've talked a lot. Okay. Is it New Year's Eve yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Practically.
So
now we're going to talk about the spinach.
So Oysters Rockefeller. We'll tell about the history of this in just a moment.
Right.
But it's got spinach in it. So I go with fresh spinach. Don't do baby spinach. It just doesn't cook very well. Fresh is best. And then you want to take the stems off. This is 8 ounces, like a half a pound, and then you're just going to get a nice big pot of water boiling, and you drop that spinach in there. It may seem like a lot at first, but then it reduces down, it wilts, and then you cook for about 4 to 5 minutes. You're going to drain it nicely, and then I like to go ahead and put it in an ice bath, just because one, it stops the cooking. It's you don't want it to continue to cook for too much longer, and then it cools it off. So then you can drain it into you can handle it. You can drain it into a colander, and then you want to squeeze that.
Squeeze it.
Spinach holds a lot of
water. All that water's been drained out.
Yeah. So squeeze it, and you can do this well in advance. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about this deliciousness that we've got over here. So we're building an amazing topping for these oysters that we're going to bake. Okay. So I'm going to get this crank. Oop! I just turned it up to 480,000 degrees.
Hot topping.
Okay. Hot topping. So what we've got here is they're kind of like, I don't know, they're a little decadent. They're like French, like escargot, so they've got a lot of butter. Butter. But it's a special day, right? So it's a reason to celebrate. So what we did was I got this nice skillet, and I melted a stick of butter, that's 8 tablespoons, over medium heat, and then I added a cup of just chopped onion. You can use yellow or white onion, finely chopped. And let that go for about 5 minutes until the onion becomes really soft and translucent.
Yeah.
And then we're going, after that, we added 3 cloves of garlic that I minced, and then just add that to the party. Oh, now I should have also mentioned, I knew I was going to forget to mention this. When you're boiling your spinach, it's really important. You want to, don't throw out that water.
No.
Get like a metal measuring cup or something, because you want to save a cup of that spinach water that we are.
You actually add that to.
Just set it to the side, and then we added that to the onions.
After you did the garlic?
After we did the garlic, after it cooked for about 30 seconds, and then we added in that pasta water, the spinach, not pasta water,
Spinach
water. Now, if it was spinach pasta water, that might have been okay, but anyway, and then you're going to bring that to a boil.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have got ourselves up to speed now.
Yes.
So now what we're going to, so this is boiling, so we need to let this reduce now, but we're going to go ahead and add in this, oh, and did I say that I chopped the spinach?
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
Did you?
I did. After you rinse it, you're going to take it to your cutting board. This is what you can do well in advance, and just give it, some rough chops with a sharp knife. Okay, now this is just some hot sauce. We're going to do like a tablespoon of just your favorite hot. Don't worry, it doesn't add a lot of spice to it.
So
it just gives some. Oh, smell it. Gives it a nice flavor. And this is an anise liqueur called
Pernod.
It looks like Pernod. I went to the first time I went to the liquor store.
Well, you said, "Where's your Pernod?"
You tell me where your Pernod is. And he said, "Well, that's a little personal, I think." Anyway, it's an anise flavored, and don't worry, even if it's kind of licorice is what anise is like.
But it is just amazing.
It really works in this dish. We're not huge licorice fans. I never have been since I was a little kid. But it's something about this.
Right.
It does not dominate the flavor at all.
And it's also French. Well, so Oysters Rockefeller originated in New Orleans. Ask me how I know that.
How do you know that?
I Googled it.
All right.
But anyway, it originated in New Orleans at this restaurant. I don't know the name of the restaurant, but they were out of escargot, or escargot was actually being hard to find. So they substituted with something local, which was oysters. And now here's Oysters Rockefeller.
Well, they needed something fancy, and so this is what, wasn't Rockefeller visiting or something?
I don't know.
Anyway, that's okay. So this is going to cook for about 10 minutes, and then it's going to reduce down, and then we're going to add some panko breadcrumbs and some Parmesan cheese and thicken it up, and then we're going to top and bake.
Perfect.
Oh, I'm telling you, Rockefeller is going to be so exciting. Okay, so let's talk about where we got. So when we left off, we were letting this simmer down, and it really just, it cooks down. You're still going to have some of that beautiful buttery stuff in there, but the liquid just absorbs into the spinach. And then what we did was we added a half a teaspoon of kosher salt and like a quarter teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. Stir that around, get that incorporated, and then at this point you can turn off the heat. We're going to stir in a half a cup of panko breadcrumbs. Panko or Japanese breadcrumbs. We're using all kinds of cultures here, but just good old thick, sturdy breadcrumbs are good. And then we added a quarter cup of grated Parmesan cheese and stir all that together. And the smell is ridiculous.
It's so good.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna
talk about those little breadcrumbs.
Yes, and then we have a topping for the topping. So we have a fun little breadcrumb topping. This is super easy. While this was simmering, I just got a nice small little skillet like this. Melted 2 tablespoons of butter. We got to do a little more butter.
Yes.
And then we added in a little more garlic, just one more minced clove of garlic. Let that cook for like 30 seconds. And then I turned up the heat, stirred in another quarter cup of the panko breadcrumbs. So that's going to get really crunchy and amazingly delicious on top. So
now let's build them.
Yes. So I generally see that liquid in there. Oh, that's
so good.
You may think, oh, it's too liquidy. It's not. It gets bubbly and delicious.
Yes.
And what we're going to do is I'm just going to use my finger, and just a little pinch of that is all that's really needed.
And then what I did is I put a layer of salt, ice cream salt, some people call it, rock salt.
Rock salt is what it is.
And so that those will stay up when they bake.
Yeah, they just sort of like help.
Ooh, you are loading those up.
I know.
crazy.
Well, you know, it's only New Year's Eve once a year, and we're going to go to town. But these are so good, and like I said, if you were doing the full recipe, you'd serve these. I would say you want to do probably 2 per person. They're a wonderful appetizer. Oh my God, they're spectacular. And just wait till you serve them, and we'll show you the presentation for serving them. They are a knockout. So I have got my oven set to 400 degrees. It's nice and hot. These don't take too long. And so what?
For like 20 minutes?
They go for a total of 20 minutes. But what you're going to want to do is get a nice piece of foil like this, because you're going to cook them for 10 minutes, and that breadcrumb topping is going to get beautifully browned, and then you want to cover them because you want to keep them cooking for another 10 minutes.
You don't want to burn the tops.
And then it's time to present them.
Yeah.
And eat them.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Oh, I tell you, talk about fit for a Rockefeller.
Yes.
I mean, these are just so
gorgeous.
Beautiful. Now, again, you know, this is just for the 2 of us.
Just the 2 of us.
But you go whatever kind of platter. We got this kind of fun platter, like a couple years ago, because it's just so pretty to serve with the salt on it.
Yeah.
But what we did, like I said, it went for a total of 20 minutes in the oven. After, I would say, start checking it around 7 or 8 minutes after it's been in there, because you don't want the brown, the topping to burn. So I think we did it around 8 minutes. We just got that foil I showed you. I just put it on top and then let it go until the 20 minutes was done. And then we removed it from the oven. And then they're going to be nice and piping hot.
Yes.
They're going to be bubbling. All that juice, that liqueur in there is going to be bubbling. It's going to be so delicious. And so let them cool. These are best definitely served warm, but you want to let them cool a little bit.
Yeah.
When people pick them up to eat them, they're like, ow, my hands.
And now I'm going to
And now
eat
the
it.
Loon is going to eat.
Look at how, first of all, look at how adorable that is.
It's a beautiful presentation. It is impressive.
I need some champers.
Champagne. I know, that's the only thing that's missing. And did we say that it's helpful? We were using those tiny forks, but
Well, they're an oyster fork.
I know it is helpful to make sure that the meat is unlodged.
Yeah. So what I did when I was shucking them, I made sure that I took it that it wasn't stuck to the shell.
It's still going to be
so you
somewhat
could do
attached.
exactly like this is and not get messy.
Yeah.
Okay, here I go.
It's I know. We say that every single time, and I hope people know that it's real. I mean, it's unbelievably delicious.
Happy New Year. That is amazing. I just, so I'm a big, big escargot fan.
Yeah.
And there's this taste in this Rockefeller that has that same kind of taste to it.
Well,
and it's so good. I think it's the Pernod.
It definitely, there's a hint of that.
Good, y'all.
But of course, it's nice and buttery. I
mean,
mean,
the butter and the
don't be
breadcrumbs.
scared if you don't like escargot, which is or snails.
Yeah.
But it has a lot of the same flavoring.
That.
I feel like I need a ding, 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 ding.
That is 100% Loon approved. That is so good.
Happy New Year. Oh,
I love that.
Now you get 1, I get 4. Okay, I'm going to put this on the plate. Let me just scoop
so
this.
good.
No, oh, look at that liqueur in there. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I got to make sure I get the
so good. Yeah,
oyster.
get the oyster. Watch out, that's a little hot. It was steaming.
It is spectacular.
Yeah. So
Oh my
good.
gosh, you guys.
So good.
And you will be a rock star of New Year's Eve. And these are so good. I mean, this is such an amazing appetizer for like a nice dinner party.
Yeah.
Serve it, and you can get everything ready ahead of time. You can certainly make the topping ahead of time, and then just bake, right at the last minute.
Yeah.
Get them shucked for you.
Right.
Shucks.
Shuck 'em.
It's so delicious.
Now you can get this recipe on howtofeedaloon.com.
That's right. And go to our social media and like us and share us and do all that good stuff.
Yes.
This spinach topping is just, I could eat it by itself.
It's
and
so
I'm
good.
going to right now.
Oh, we are so ready for 2020 to be over. We are looking forward to 2021. And
So let's say this. No matter what happens in 2021, we don't think it can get worse, but who knows? But if it does, we've got each other, right? We've got
do.
each other. And
We do.
you've got the ones you love. We love you. We love each other.
Yeah.
We love our dogs. We love life.
yes.
Everything's going to be great, you guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.